Homeless, Disabled and MCS by C&J 151021. Life has been hard for everyone these past 2 years and has turned everyone's lives topsy-turvy and so much heartache and grief. But life goes on, harder for some. Lockdown and staying at home are what most have had to cope with, but for some they have no home. Not all homeless people have succumbed to alcohol and drugs. My friend and I have been looking for a bungalow with a wet room and accessible for 2 wheelchairs for over 2 years and homeless for 11 months. Fussy? No. Problems we keep coming up against are doors too narrow for wheelchairs to get through the front doors and internal and external doors. Kitchens that are too small or have a fixed island in the middle of the kitchen to move around in. Bathrooms that have showers over the baths. And those that do have a shower cubicle, they are too tiny. And we are cuddly straight women who struggle with step and there's no room for a stool, fold-up chair. There are wood burners or coal fires smothering the room with smoke soot, great for asthmatics, not. Windows that are not double glazed, and so outside traffic pollution, barbecues, bonfires, etc. come into the properties. Also, a lot of the bungalows are holiday lets, or next to industrial estates and smelly, scented factories, shops. We expect majority of people wouldn't understand what the trouble is, but when you need to use a wheelchair at times, have disabilities and have MCS, multiple chemical sensitivity, i.e. sensitive to scented products, new paint, new carpets, new furniture, glues, formaldehyde, etc. Please see www.mcs-aware.org for more information, please. Then yes, finding a home is a lot harder. Hence why, even though I spend 6 hours a day, internet signal permitting, trying to find a place is so painful and exhausting to do. After looking at over 9,000 places online and hundreds of phone calls, lost count of how many emails sent, and loads of adverts, not just in Dorset, but Hampshire, Devon, Cornwall, Wiltshire, etc. Hours of travelling and hundreds of pounds in hotel costs, etc. And no success in finding a place to live, it is very demoralising. Every hour of every day looking, and we have been doing this for over 2 years. If it weren't for the MCS, caused by damp, mould, leaking roof, chemical poisoning, gas leak and bad maintenance from rented accommodation in Bournemouth from 2013, we are sure we would have found more places to look at before now. We did, however, find 3 ideal properties, but because we are on benefit, including disability, we were too much of a risk, and landlords, landladies, estate agents and mortgage lenders do not want to know, despite it is illegal for them to deny people on housing benefits. They also expect us to have guarantors at our age, 58 plus. We were both healthy and worked before we both became disabled. Why did we become homeless? Our ex-landlord from 2017 to 2020 couldn't wait any longer for us to leave. He took us to court, and we didn't blame him. He needed an operation and needed his disabled bungalow back to recover. So in November 2020, we put all our belongings into storage, 40 years worth, except our wheelchairs, air vac, steam mop, CPAP machine, clothing, etc., and moved into a hotel. Our cats went to stay with a friend, then went into boarding at the Margaret Green Animal Rescue. Please look them up: www.margaretgreenanimalrescue.org.uk. Thank you. It was very hard going, physically and mentally, especially during lockdown. For saying that, we have been wearing nose guards, masks and gloves for 7 years, but the disinfectants and hand gels made both our health deteriorate, and we had increasingly more MCS attacks. The Premier Inn staff and restaurant staff were amazing and brought back happy memories of when I worked in the hotel industry many years ago. During those 6 weeks, we had spent over £500 on an accessible hotel room, as council paid housing benefit for the other times, £60 on internet costs to still look for a place to live, and £859.81 on takeaway food and one food parcel. Mainly chocolate and sadly not soup or kettle made food, as we had no car and no fridge to keep food fresh, but were grateful of people's donations. But boy did we struggle with the disinfectant smells. We couldn't air the room when the cars were outside, and wacky-backy and vapes and cigarette smells from other people and toilet duck, whatever it was, etc. were coming into the room and into the window and the corridors when I went out to get the takeaway food, despite having our air purifiers and sniffing coffee when exposed to the smells. In January 2021, we finally moved into a council bungalow, but had problems, i.e. wet room flooded, gas leak, blocked drain, leaked washing machine pipe, cement everywhere, and VOC paints, glue used on new wooden door thresholds, and smell of a new shower curtain, antibacterial, triclosan microban type chemical, which made us so very ill, and 10 months on the place still makes us ill. Shockingly, where they put us, we are unable to go down the dangerously steep driveway in our wheelchairs, and taxis have hanging air fresheners and complained about damage to their cars and causing burnt clutches and clanking noises of their car exhaust when getting in and out of the driveway. And I have no car and not driven in years, so 99% of the time we are housebound and still homeless. Despite contacting CAB, shelter, solicitors who provide legal aid, and other people and organisations, no one can help with our situation. We have various medical conditions and disabilities, including dyslexia, neck and back spasms and pain, osteoarthritis, myelomalacia, cervical stenosis, ME, fibro, myalgic encephalomyelitis and fibromyalgia, and now recently diagnosed with hyperthyroidism and Graves' disease. And also asthma, sleep apnea, neck, back and other injuries, osteoarthritis, and we both have MCS and hyperosmia, as well as needing checkups due to ovarian and endometrial cancer and a full hysterectomy a few years ago. My friend has asthma, sleep apnea, and needs electricity to power her CPAP machine to keep her alive at night. We are not alcoholics or drug users, have never had a criminal record, yet it seems we are being disability discriminated. And our Bournemouth ex-landlord from 2013 caused our conditions, so why are we being treated like this? With all of these to cope with day in, day out, the council have decided we can no longer live in this temporary bungalow. The reason they are evicting us is because we said no to one permanent bungalow. It was in a bad location, next to a carriageway, and if we left early within 5 years, then the disabled adaptations to the property, costing thousands, we would have to pay for it all. And when you're on ESA and PIP, every penny counts. Also, they need the 3-bedroom bungalow back, as there is only 2 of us. We used the 3rd bedroom for medical reasons, mainly due to MCS, multiple chemical sensitivity, hyperosmia. We need to off-gas everything that comes into the bungalow and can't touch them for several days, even weeks, due to their smells. Even food shopping and post. We are so sensitive. We are setting up a GoFundMe page to hopefully pay towards moving costs. But what we need is a safe, detached, 3-bedroom bungalow, over 20 years old, wet room, small garden and garage to rent, by the sea, with good fresh air, and live our remaining years happy and stress-free. We are also going to set up another petition in trying to get a new housing law to have bungalows and ground floor flats all disabled friendly in the UK, i.e. access ramps to wide main door, wide doors inside, all have wet rooms, not baths or shower cubicles, grab rails, electric power points higher from the floor, light switches lower, thermostat lower on the wall, door and window handles easier for a disabled person to use a lever window opener or something else, and whole house water filtration system, which will make an enormous difference. There are 1.2 million wheelchair users in the UK and 11 million people who are disabled in the UK, and the numbers will seriously increase as people suffering from long COVID will be disabled for months, even years. Please, someone help us. Thank you. And also, if you can, please contact the website links below. mcs-aware.org, margaretgreenanimalrescue.org.uk, sleep-apnea-trust.org, hope-to-sleep.co.uk, vdf-thyroid.org, meassociation.org.uk, fibromyalgia-associationuk.org, and versusarthritis.org. Thank you very much.